I'd like to take a poll today. Question: have you ever yelled at your television? Now, by show of hands, I want you to tell me if you've ever yelled at your television, be it Wheel of Fortune, the news. Oh boy, a lot to yell at. Have you ever yelled at Antiques Roadshow? Anything. Have you yelled at your television? Raise your hand. Are you raising your hands? Guess what? I can't tell. And I don't mean to fool you, and I'm not trying to make a joke here. My point is that this interaction is a one-way street so far. Until you comment, until you like, until you subscribe, all the things, I can't hear you. I can't hear your voice. I can't see you raise your hand. Uh, and if you want it to be a two-way conversation, and this is true of anyone who puts anything out on social media, you have to get people to engage with you. That's what the comment section is for, to ask questions, to have a conversation. Social media was always supposed to be about a conversation. It evolved out of the old chat rooms back in the late 90s of the last century. That's what it's all supposed to be about. Here's my opinion. And that opinion, you think it may just go nowhere, but in reality, somebody's listening. The platform's definitely listening. They want to know what you like, what you don't like, so they can advertise to you. But the people you're engaging with and the people who are watching you engage are definitely hearing what you have to say when you put out content or comment on comment or like comment content. You're making a statement by what you do. That's just a human experience, only now it's happening online. And that's a good thing because you can send a message. Well, what you like, what you do, what you talk about says something about you. Everyone is listening. Now, not everyone's saying anything. There are tons of people lurking online that may see your videos, may see your podcast or hear your podcast. They may read your content, your blog posts, and never say a word. You don't know they've ever been there. They're lurkers, and that's okay. That's sort of the anonymity of cyberspace. You still have to put the content out there. By daring to put out content, whether it's just posting an article or commenting on somebody else's article, you make that statement. We teach our clients all the time, be engaged on social media, especially on LinkedIn if you're looking for a job or looking to professionally advance. It's very important that you curate an image, that you cultivate content. You're sort of your own personal social media man. And in light of that, I want to share with you three little rules that we share with all of our coaches uh, whenever you're engaging online. Because remember, people are listening. Rule number one: whatever you post, make sure it's accurate. Now, we've all posted hoaxes, we've posted things that aren't true. You know what'll stop that? Pausing before you post it and going to Google. Go to Snopes, type it in, and just see, is this an accurate, reliable news source? We all know bias is real. It's out there. Try and be fair and unbiased in what you post. Unless it truly reflects who you are, definitely go out there and make a point to say this might just be my opinion or this is an actual fact. But by all means, stop and think about what you're sharing because you need to determine, is it accurate? Rule number two, and that is be helpful. Oh, this is a big one because there's a lot of people commenting on LinkedIn, especially. Oh, I agree. Whenever you post anything, it goes on for weeks. I agree. I agree. Big whoop. So you agree. While we appreciate the content, I'd really much rather have a conversation. And so would the person who posted whatever you're commenting on. So don't just like and do a petty little comment to game the algorithm. Don't do that. If you're going to be engaged, ask a question. Think, what would Gary Vaynerchuk do? Well, Gary Vaynerchuk would go out there and he would ask a question. He would put value out there in what he comments on. That's what Gary does. That's why Gary's the king of social media. He almost invented social media marketing. And There's a reason people still listen to him because what he says has value. Why does it have value? Because he cares. Engage, be helpful. That's rule number 2. Finally, rule number 3 is be respectful. Now, I could have said be kind. There's a certain human element to being kind. We know social media is frequently not kind. Just go to Twitter, you'll find a lot of unkindness out there. I like to use the word respect because it implies a level of adulthood that we should all aspire to. Every day, we need to aspire to be better adults. The world would be a much better place if we did. So, before you tear somebody down, what would it be like to build them up instead? Before you bring the hellfire of righteous indignation, stop and think, is this person here ever going to hear it? Or is it just going to reinforce their own sense of self persecution and self worth? Lord only knows. Try and be helpful. So remember, 3 roles: be accurate, be helpful, be respectful. Try that. You'll find that your social media is a lot nicer place to be. I hope you have a great week. Talk to you soon.